Hello folks, today pouring rain outside, and so there's not much chance of video inside. And one of the things, I was looking through my channel's activity in the last year, and one of the things I noticed was that one of my biggest hits was my Koseri Instapot pressure cooker, multi-cooker video. That people seem to really like that. So I thought, I know there's quite a few traveler videos that spend a lot of time on food. I thought maybe I'd tell you a couple of things I do for food, for camping. This is breakfast, and I'll promote a few products. This is New Hope Mill's buckwheat pancake mix, and this comes from a little tiny mill near my old house in New York. And if you go to New Hope, New York on Google Earth, you can see the mill. It's a little tiny building along the river where they used to have water power and now they're electric. But they make this pancake mix. You can get this on Amazon. I'll put it in a link below, or I'll put it on my webpage. But it's a really, really good buckwheat pancake mix. I've tried a lot of buckwheat pancake mixes and I'm not real big on any of them. But this one is great. But the package instruction says just add water, pour it in a pan, fry it up. But I will tell you that, you know, I don't follow directions to begin with. And you can make this even better and healthier. I mean, pancakes are cakes, and then you're going to put syrup on them. And by the way, as long as I'm promoting products, this is real maple syrup, and I get this from Dutch Hill Farms in Tully, New York. And he will ship to you real maple syrup. Get light amber. There's a new grading process now for maple syrup, but I like the light amber. But one of the things I like to do is I like to add walnuts. These are walnuts. You know, they're regular, just walnuts. And I chop them up. I put them in my food processor, and I literally turn them to dust. Not so much that it's necessary, but I really don't like walnuts. But I do this because they're healthier. And if you're asking me how much do I put in there, because I don't measure, as you can tell, I try to put about a quarter cup. Now, if we do this, I've got probably too much walnuts in there, but that's all right. The buckwheat flour will take care of it. And then, on top of that, I add cinnamon. Cinnamon is the secret ingredient for anything you make that might have syrup. And again, I put probably a whole tablespoon of cinnamon in there. It's not just a little speck or fleck you might see on a pancake someplace else. And I also add an egg. And again, the package says add water, cook. I do a lot more than that. It just tastes a lot better. And then I add milk. This is a glass of milk. I'm measuring my food because I'm on a diet. I'm trying to lose weight. Is this diet? Not really, but we'll make it so it's diet. And then I use milk, and you can't use skim milk. Skim milk is gross. Skim milk is just white colored water, in my opinion. It's just milky water. But you stir this up. In the meantime, I gotta turn on the frying pan here. I'll stir this up good. Get everything blended in there well. And it's just like cake batter. It's nice, you know, it's thick. It's not real runny, but you don't want it doughy. You don't want it, so I put, what did I put? Probably a little more than 1/3 of a cup of milk in there. About 1/3 cup of flour, about 1/4 cup of walnuts, 1 large egg, and about 1/4 cup of milk. And that's ready to go in the pan. It looks gross. Now the other thing I've done that I've discovered is that I use butter. And this is how I butter the pan. And that warms up the end of the butter stick so that I can put it on the pancake. I was trying to lose weight and I thought I'd get my cholesterol down. I cut butter totally out of my diet. But one of the things I noticed in cooking is if I'm using oil to cook with, you know, when you put butter in a pan like that, the butter browns up and then it burns. And when you make something like pancakes or French toast or scrambled eggs, you don't want the pan so hot that it burns butter. Now, oils burn at a higher temperature, so you can get the pan a lot higher temperature on oil and not know it. But on butter, when it gets brown, I know it's time to cook the pancakes, to throw them in there. You don't want to put them in a cold pan because they'll dry out and get kind of chewy and icky. But, and they take forever to cook. But butter has that temperature gradient you can see. And my gas stove here is a great stove. I've yearned for gas stoves since I left home. This is the first place I've lived that had a real gas stove, and I've decided that there's really no difference. After all these years, an electric stove, the only thing a gas stove does a little better on is I cook wok, Chinese food in a wok, and it does a little better there. Okay, now when you get flour and water together, it thickens up. So this is thickened up nicely, and it's going to make a great pancake. Now the other thing I do for my breakfast is I make 2 pancakes. One big one and one with what's left over. So that takes up the whole pan, so I don't have to try to figure out how the pan is the right temperature and all that. But Dutch Hill maple syrup, New Hope Mills pancake mix. And they have a whole bunch of pancake mix. Oh, and you know, I forgot. You can, of course, throw blueberries in here. When I have walnuts and cinnamon, I usually throw cranberries. And I do have cranberries in there, but I put them in with the walnuts and chop them up so they're not big chunks of cranberries. They're little tiny flavor buds, and you can do that. But play with your food. Food is fun to play with. I mean, that's what little kids always do when they eat. They play with their food. And while the pancake is cooking back there, I gotta keep an eye on it, so I keep turning my head. But play with your food, experiment, cinnamon, nutmeg, whatever you like. I will tell you though that scientifically proven that cinnamon helps regulate your blood sugar. So when you're having something like half a cup of maple syrup with a pancake, cinnamon is a great thing to add to it because it does keep your blood sugar from spiking way up and then coming way down, and you have that after breakfast, you know, I want to take a nap. Now, I have made these pancakes just like this, and then I flip them once. When I'm going to eat them, like today I'm going to eat them here. When I flip them once, they're cooked both sides. Then I throw them in a plastic bag, hot, and throw them in the freezer. And that freezes them up with all their moisture in them and everything. And then I can take them camping, and when I go camping, all I have to do is warm up the pan, just a light warm up. You don't have to get it really hot. And throw those pancakes in a frying pan out camping. Flip them a couple times and they'll warm up just so they feel like they just come off my stove in the house. So, and it's no mess. You don't have to clean up something like this at the campground, which makes a big mess of dirty water. You don't have too much to do. You eat it on a paper plate, throw that in the fireplace, because paper plates, even with maple syrup on them, burn just fine. I think my pancake's about done. It's a rather large pancake. Oh, it's too bad you can't smell this. Walnut, cinnamon, awesome. So put that on there. Put the little butter off the end of the butter stick that we warmed up in the pan on there. Not a lot of butter. I don't like eat much butter as I used to anymore. The other thing I have learned about making pancakes is that when you're done with that mixing bowl, you want to rinse it out real good right away, because that wheat and milk turn into wallpaper paste in about 10 minutes, and you have to take a knife to get it off. It comes off very hard anyways. Maple syrup, real maple syrup. There are 3 kinds of maple syrup. Good, bad, and ugly. There's light amber, which is the fancy grade. There's medium amber, which is a little darker, and then there's dark amber, which is like maple molasses. And down here in the South, every place you find maple syrup, it's dark amber. And they have changed the classification of the different syrups because people don't buy the dark amber as much. So they've renamed the dark amber to grade A heavy or something like that. But that's my breakfast for today. And I hope you enjoyed that. I hope you try some of that. As I said, play with your food. Don't take these mixes and just go with them. Add something to them. Put something in there that you really like. Some spices or fruit or whatever. You can easily add blueberries or cranberries or chestnuts or whatever you really like. I've tried bananas. Bananas burn on the pan a little too much. So do blueberries, but they're worth it. So anyways, all right folks. Thanks for watching. Subscribe. I'll have a couple more of these preparing foods that you can take in your camper. So stay tuned, and we'll put a couple of these out on these rainy days. All right. Thanks, folks. Have a great day.